In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to design using Claude code. Now we're going to be prompting this together, but I'm going to show you guys several different ways you can get a design into Claude and then bring it to life using Higgsfield. So to start off, we're going to jump into Claude. Now you can see we've got chat, we've got co-work, and we've got code up here, but we're going to click on code and we're going to start in here, but we're actually going to jump over into terminal later on. In Figma, I have this landing page called Sidekick, and you can see it's just got like an email sign up there, and then we've got some logos at the bottom, and then we got this sort of AI looking thing. But we're going to get rid of this for now because this is just inspiration. Now, there's a few ways you can get this design into Claude, or any design into Claude, and I'll show you guys the 3 main ways that I know to do that. So if you're a designer like me and you like to design in Figma first, you'll have a Figma file with all your assets, where you can use the Figma MCP into Claude. There's a little bit of a process there. That's probably the best way of getting everything over with all your assets. The second way is a little quick and dirty way to do it, but you could just screenshot your design in Figma, or you could screenshot any design on the internet that's not yours and then claim it's yours, which a lot of people seem to do, which I'm not a fan of. The third way, you can literally just sketch this out on a piece of paper, a little wireframe, logo here, input here, and then you can take a photo of that and bring that into Claude. What we're going to do here, just to show you guys an example of the screenshot way, is we're going to take a screenshot of our design that we have right now in Figma, and we'll take this over into Claude. So we can give it a prompt like this: make a simple landing page, 100 vertical height, so that just means it's going to fill the screen. It should match the layout of this design. Fonts are Manro, BG is this. And then we'll add the input box is for emails, dark glass effect on the input box. But let's go down here where it says Sonnet 4.6, and let's change that to Opus 4.6, which is the more powerful one. It's going to use more credits, but it's a fairly simple thing. And then now you can see in literally a matter of seconds, it's done a pretty good job. This looks really good. We got a kind of glow there, this little like hover thing. It's not taking our logo exactly because it doesn't have our logo yet. So now with just that one prompt from Claude Code, it's generated us this responsive website, which is actually really close to our original design. Now for the next step, we're actually going to use Claude Code in the terminal, and we're going to make a couple little micro adjustments to really bring this to life. So if we open our terminal on the Mac, it'll look something like this. Now what we're going to type is we're going to do CD space, and then we'll find our folder that Claude made, and then we'll drag that in there, and that's going to point the terminal to our specific project folder. Now all we need to do is type Claude. So let's just make this full height, and we'll drag this over here. Now we'll pull our design just beside it. Now we can start making little micro adjustments. So we could say something like make our H1 500 weight. And you can see it's going to change it from 600 to 500, just like that. Now let's just say you have a logo file. Let's export this out, and we'll save this into the project folder. And then we'll also add in the SVG logos that we have down here. Then we can say replace the logo, and then replace the trusted by logos, a ticker that auto scrolls. We'll refresh it and see if it's done that. Perfect. So it's literally replaced our logo. That looks really good. We have our logo icons running along the bottom, and you can see that if you scroll on top of it, it stops. That's really nice. Then let's actually say wrap all content in a 1400 pixel max width wrapper. Then now if we refresh it, you can see that everything's in this 1400 pixel wrapper. And I think that looks a little nicer. To really bring this design to life, we're going to use Higgsfield to generate some AI images, and we're going to turn those images into videos. And we're just going to try out some different explorations with the design that we've got. If you head over to Higgsfield, so here you can see I've already created some orb-like images. I put in this prompt here, generate an orb-like BG, pulsing aura, sci-fi, blah, blah, blah. Orb only fills the bottom 50% of the screen. It came back with these images here, which are really cool. And you can see this is like the one that we had at the start. And let's just click on upscale. Okay, so here is our up-resed image, and we're just going to download this. Now, I would definitely suggest taking it into Figma and resizing it down, because you do not need a large PNG with a crazy file size, because that's not going to be good for anyone. Width will go 2500, and then let's just export this out as a JPEG, and we'll save this as BG1. Now you would actually want to compress that image even further for the web, so maybe using something like tiny JPEG or converting it to WebP, but for the example of this tutorial, we're just going to put it straight in. Use the BG1 image as the full screen background image. Then now if we refresh, You can see we've got our image in there. Now, it doesn't look great because of the sizing of it. We'll say this, move the center content area up into the top 50% of the screen. Then now if we refresh, we've got that up there, which that definitely looks a lot better. Now you can see down here with our ticker, before it just added this gradient at the edge. Fix the ticker fading transparency to be true mask transparency at the edges. Now if we refresh, it now does it perfectly, and that actually works really well with the background image too. I've also got this other image that we generated in Higgsfield, and then let's try that out. Let's resize that down. So replace BG1 for BG2, and then we'll refresh, see how that looks. Now that looks pretty good. I think that looks a bit better actually. Let's go back into Higgsfield and let's animate this. So let's go over here to video and let's go start frame, and we're going to use this image that we generated there. And then we're going to say the orb should rotate slowly and the colors swirl, move with it, no camera movement, keep composition the same, just rotating, pulsing orb. Now we'll turn sound off because we don't need sound. We'll go cling 3.0, 10 seconds, 1080p, and let's generate it. And this here is what we get. We've got a 10-second video of this orb, camera movement stays the exact same, and that is looking pretty good. So let's download that and then we'll pull that into the design. And I also did a version with this first image too, and we'll download that too and see how that looks. So we'll drop our files into our project folder, looping video, full screen. Now that video that we exported, you would have to compress that down too because you don't want your website to be too heavy. But you know, you guys get the gist. This is just showing you how it kind of works. And then we can refresh and then look at that. That is pretty cool. And then we'll say try BG vid 1. That looks okay. I think the other one looks better, so let's go with that. And you'll see if we resize it down, it's fully responsive. But you can see here our email input is getting a little small at mobile size. So try this, make email input box full width inside its container when in mobile view. And that way is how you can just fine tune little bugs here and there. So you can see how quickly it starts to come together, and then you can dial in little interactions and ideas that you have. For example, make the placeholder input have a gradient wipe effect from its current color to a white that animates across it every 2 seconds. And you can see there, enter your email's got this kind of glowing little effect to it. So that's my process of how to design using Claude Code, get things dialed in, use Higgsfield to generate assets. Now it's a very simple website, but you guys can imagine how this workflow applies to something bigger. If you're working on a bigger website, you might want to add in things like GitHub for version control and really refine more of a sort of style guide and variables and stuff to make everything consistent across a bigger project. But this is the general idea about how to make something quick and dirty, but then make it actually unique and your own. If you wanted to get your website hosted on the internet, you could use something like Cloudflare, and you can actually host it for free in a lot of cases, and then you can connect a domain name to it, and you can literally just ask Claude Code, how can I get this connected to Cloudflare? Or you could use any other web hosting provider. To get your email form actually linked up to capture emails, you could just ask Claude Code, how can I get this to actually capture emails? And it'll help guide you in the portal with some third-party plugins, and you'll be able to have a fully functioning website hosted on the internet. I hope this video was useful for you guys. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this, and I'll catch you guys soon with another video.